Hey guys, and welcome to an all signs career, money, abundance read, so to say. It's where we use tarot to look into the energies related to career, right? Which brings in the money. And that's that. I will go from Aries to Pisces, leave timestamps below. And these are general readings, so take what resonates with you, leave behind the rest, and never ever force it to fit if it doesn't. You make your decisions, as always. And yeah, if you like the content, please like the video. I would appreciate your support. And I hope you can hear me. I don't have a mic and I'm talking a bit low because everything can be heard here. So let's get to it, starting with Aries. And it's snowing in the background. Aries. King of Wands in the reverse. Let's see what we have for you. Okay, here we have the Three of Swords in the reverse showing up. This is a disappointment, okay? And look, it's focusing, Aries. I fixed the camera. Well, this is a disappointment. And there are definitely a lot of people included in this situation. It's also, but see, it's a disappointment that is not going to have that big of an effect on you. I feel as though there was a clarity here coming in the recent past. Could be a, yeah, it feels like having to make a decision. I don't know if someone here is leaving the situation. In that case, it would have been a long way coming. You're definitely here about to make, it's like you're going to make a phone call. I don't know if it's like you're quitting or what you're doing, I hope, but you tell me. It's definitely just making a sound decision where things have to move differently, because I feel like something here has moved too fast, and that's also a little bit of a warning here to be patient, because if there's not patience, things could come in very quickly and they can lose their footing coming up here in the future. It can happen very quickly. So it's what will support the situation is your career is actually to be a little bit methodical, to be patient, to have a method to work with here. And if we are dealing with people, if you have to make a choice between people, be mindful that I gotta say, it's a little bit like, be mindful about, even though energies can be boring, people can be boring, sometimes the boring approach can be the pragmatic approach can actually be something that brings more stability, more safety here. Because there is an energy here about, I don't know if you have someone here in your environment that could be jealous, would probably be a woman, not very supportive, but that energy can actually be very draining to you. There is an energy here on the table that is a little bit tiresome, because people are probably being aggressive, so to say. But here, your approach to this is actually very cool, calm, collected. It's about making firm decision here to move on, to be, we have to get things going, but at the same time be patient. That makes, I feel as though I'm talking in two directions. Gotta be always stretching. Yeah, if you're dealing with people who are at each other's throat, you're going to, it seems as though you're the one who has this energy that comes with it of making decisions, saying we have to solve this, and we have to be pragmatic, we have to be willing to learn something new. We can't stay in this energy where we are just always thinking about lack. We have to have a positive approach. We have to be able to, we have to work together and look at what can happen, what we can make work, even though we have to be patient, and we gotta have a method to it. It's probably because you have a lot of faith, and you have a lot of clarity. Your faith in where you want to go, even though you know it will take time, and you have a clarity about that. Maybe this chaos I'm picking up on is actually from people outside of you. Someone here is going to find it difficult. I feel it's like, I don't know if you have like someone here who gets in their mind and they start making scenarios, become very, very worrisome, and then they get into their own little mind prison here, and then they stop taking action. There is, gotta be honest with you, coming up here an energy here about things having happened so quickly because the method here wasn't followed, and then you kind of get stuck, and then you have to go back and redo it. But that's what we do. I hope that gave you anything. Let's move on to Taurus. Taurus. All right. Everything is in the reverse here except this Five of Wands. This could be competition taking place here. Disagreements, but not in the sense that we have conflicts. It's more like people not being on the same page and fighting to get their way through. It's this sort of tension, conflict tension that we learn from challenges. We're challenging each other. It's a good thing. You can get a good ideas there, but it just depends on how people are showing up with you. Why is you like this with the Ace of Cups in the reverse? This is like a block to creativity. not really feeling it at the moment. Maybe you have an offer coming in. It's just not, it's not reaching your heart. It may be that you were disappointed here. You're carrying around a sadness with you. I don't know if you're getting a delayed apology or something like that, but there's a sadness here. And it's just a little bit difficult to walk away from that. It's like your emotions are really prominent here. Your emotional response to a situation where it's like it keeps coming back to you. It's difficult to go towards your wish fulfillment, or just your happiness, basically, of appreciating what is around you here if your heart keeps going back to a situation in the past. And that also makes it difficult to really relate to the people around you here, your colleagues. And see, that's the thing, that's actually happiness in this. Whatever's coming your way, it has happiness. It just feels difficult for you to feel that. It's almost like you're actually manifesting some sort of a communication coming your way that brings you stability. You know what, I feel as though it may have something to do with the fact that there's this tension, this competition. People being loud. And it's like this drive towards people just following their career, challenging each other like this. And that blocks the creativity, that blocks this desire to relate to people. What is coming off for it? That was glitter, like gold coming down from this, or dust, I don't know. But hold on to your coin. I see a situation coming up where you're going to be a little bit, I don't know, it's like, you know, I'm sitting here saying, I don't know what I want to do. I feel as though you're going to hold on to what you have. There's a little bit, I won't say it's a warning, but it's more like saying, it's okay to share, it's okay to give of yourself a little bit. But it's up for you to decide, right? You make your own decisions here. I don't know if you have something outside of work that's affecting you, the way that you're relating to people. Here, but it's not bad. There's an opportunity here. It's just, I feel as though it's because there's this tension going on. It's the heart is just not opening up really here. So Gemini, what do we have for you? Move on to Gemini. Gemini. Alright, Gemini. That's weird. This is weird. I don't know if you're waiting around for a contract. You have the Ace of Pentacles here. There's a new opportunity for you. At least that's what you're showing up with. But why are the ships not coming in? Are you waiting around? It's like you may have something here between your hands and you're just waiting for it. And it could be a contract. In the recent past, I am seeing a good energy where you got out of being sad of a situation here. I don't know if you lost something or someone. It's just an experience here that where there was regret, so to say, with it. But then coming out of that and deciding to have a new beginning here. I see you being on the move. You're deciding not to let any past experience, even though it is disappointing, so to say, not letting it drag you down. You want this new beginning here. What is, however, coming up to you for you is the Ten of Swords. This is a disappointment. This is actually a bit. Gemini, is this you having choices to make here, and you're deciding to go with what your heart, what speaks to your heart here? This is something that will take time. Whatever it is that speaks to your heart that you want, it's going to take some time to build up. It's going to require effort here. It's not going to come tomorrow. The opportunity may be here, but for you to reach the abundance, there's a potential for that. It will take time. There's something here that's probably needing to be learned. If you're used to things happening like this, the opportunity that is here for you is something that will take time to give you the abundance. And that's where I'm seeing someone here in the future, a woman that's going to make she's going to make a decision that's going to be about, she's going to use logic. She's not going to be swayed by emotions. She's going to do what is best for everyone. And there may be a situation that comes up that brings a little bit of a headache, let's say like that. But here's the case. Be mindful that you are aligned with the people that you're dealing with. This is work, but it could very be love, gotta be honest. Sometimes they go together, right? But just be mindful here about whether or not you are compatible with the people that you're with here. Maybe you're just not seeing things the same way, and this woman here is going to address that. The person you, or whatever you're connected to, they're very traditional. They want things to take their time. They're very methodical, probably, and they can't be fooled. Not saying that you're going to do that, but they are. I mean, again here, right? Think about compatibility, but it's up for you. Of course, it's up for you. I'm seeing you being on the move. I'm seeing you having an opportunity here, but it's going to require work and patience and a lot of effort and concentration to get this going, right? And it's always, for both of these people on this card, be you and the person, the environment, whoever you're dealing with here, I feel so it's important to like address that. It's important to respect each other's point of view, and we don't have to be good friends all the time. Of course, some people think that we have to, but you know, in a work setting, honestly, as long as you can work together and respect each other, I don't think you have to be friends outside, but that's just my opinion here. Anyway, let's move on to Cancer. Cancer. All right. The Tower. I'm seeing a little bit this trust issue going on here with you. There's a woman showing up here. That's probably very... it's a woman who has a lot of knowledge. She's someone here who's very mysterious. They're not speaking. The energy is friendly, but I'm getting a little skepticism towards this person. You have the Tower here. There's something that's hitting you from the outside that's making things shake up in your material world. It's affecting you. I think it's like getting a new mindset. You know, when we learn something new, we are dressing to change. But it's coming from the outside, and it may be from someone who you don't really trust that much. It's like, you know, being asked to look at things one more time to see if you're making sound investments. Can whatever it is that you invested your efforts into, can it grow, or do you have to realign the energy? But that is like having to take a lot of steps backwards, and then that can be uncomfortable here. In the recent past, there's been a difficulty saying no. And that which has been said no to, people, meaning that it's going out, spending time together. That's interesting. It's coming from you here. That has been said no to. And it's also taking a pause, which could have brought, it's like having postponed the stress, having postponed dealing with something. And it actually, if you don't take a break, if we don't take a pause, we don't recharge. And then it's actually difficult to perform. You may have been working a lot hard since autumn time here. But I get that you're trying your best to bring balance. It really shows up as though you're doing your best. And what's coming up here is something's gonna fall. Something's gonna happen so quickly, and it's gonna lose its footing. And I think that you're coming to that realization. Even though it does bring some discomfort here, right? Health. You know what? For some of you, it's even you sitting here that you don't trust someone who may look good, who's probably spending more time socializing than actually working, and then it's going to lose its footing. The advice is here to, but you know what? Just the advice is to be open to explore. Your ships are coming in. Be open to think outside the box, to look for new inspiration, and that's the ships that are coming in. New inspiration, but it's about actually making room for it, being open to the change, even though you don't trust it. And you don't trust this person here. But that's what we have for you. It's basically change. Readjustment, realigning. It's okay. Here. Leo. It feels a little bit as though you're not aligned with someone. You and someone you're working with, it's like a partnership that's a little bit imbalanced. I hope you can hear me. Leo, why do you have this? The King of Swords in the reverse, that's someone who believes that they know everything and they don't. And they're not open to other people's opinions. Hold on, I've got to get my text. Steady. Right, yeah. It's where we were coming from. We were coming from the King of Swords. I don't know if this is fear driving this on your behalf, gotta say. Yeah, that is the King of Swords here for you. It's thinking you know everything, but actually being a little bit judgmental, not accepting other people's wisdom, what they bring to the table. We do have, however, an unreliable energy in the recent past. It could be a person that comes in with a lot of fire and energy and then it drops to the floor. It's unreliable. And that may be what is triggering this response. We are also seeing people, again, people not being related, not relating properly to each other. There's a disharmony. There's a disharmony in regards to how people like each other, right? That's what we have this. And it's like a group of people. Some people probably don't like each other in this. Why am I being bombarded here? So I don't know. Yeah, but that's what I have here for you. In terms of yours, what the advice is to be mindful of not building up towers. Avoid building up something that's not solid. But you get to decide what that means for you, right? What's coming up here is the Ten of Swords. So people not liking each other or making, you know, where the personal issues become a bit too much. It's going to lead to a situation where there's going to be not a nice energy. And the thing is, when I see you here, that's the thing. You may be deciding to not focus at all upon the emotions, trying to rationalize it. And that's also probably not a good idea if that is what's taking place here, because then it's actually devaluating other people's experiences. Because I am seeing people here with disharmony. And if people don't feel acknowledged, feel validated for their experience of reality, if they don't feel that someone here who's leading them, because if you, especially if you have leadership responsibilities, if you don't validate their reality, their experience, it can be difficult to motivate them. It could have something to do with money. Yeah, you know what, you tell me. I am definitely just seeing the conflict taking place. And the conflict is going to end up where conflicts do. It's going to be an end, at least, right? An end meaning that the conflict is going to end, but it's going to leave headaches, and people are not going to be kind to each other. It's like a big group of people here. It's more than competition. It's when people where the relations are not tackled start treating each other like idiots, and then there's going to be a lot of I feel still for you going to go into the situation with diplomacy here. That's what's going to happen. Then you're going to take on the approach to try and make people come back together, trying to coordinate a realignment. It's going to be difficult. Not difficult, it's going to be hectic. Yes, hectic. It's going to be hectic. This is like working in diplomacy, right? Trying to make people come back together, work together, but at a point when they are not liking each other. Alright, Virgo. Virgo. Sorry, I forgot the time. Sorry, completely. Virgo. I had a brain fart just there. There's a lot of people here included. The situation is... I thought I heard a dog. No, the situation is about walking away from something. But whatever it is that you're walking away from, there's a peaceful energy related to that past. It's almost, I mean, for some of you it's like changing, if you have worked in childcare, then changing job, but it's walking away from something that's sweet and innocent, and there's a good memory associated to that energy. I'm getting that you may be a little bit confused about some sort of a communication. It doesn't come in the way that you expected it to. The way something here is written, given to you in a written statement, feels confusing. And I'm seeing here that you're coming from a situation where something that should have been let go of was probably not let go of fully. And that's probably what's bringing the confusion. There's something here in the recent past that actually made you happy. But for some reason or another, it has been let go, but it's not fully been let go. I don't know if you jumped into something too quickly in terms of your career. It's like, but it's there's like a disaster that was avoided, not disaster, but there's something here that has been avoided. It was imbalanced. It was hectic. I get that there may have been a situation where there was not a proper work balance, meaning that you balance out your life, private life, your rest, your need for rest with your work. I'm seeing you being confused about, it's like being confused and you're saying no to something. I feel as though you're going through something here that has to do with something in the past that was not fully released. And yeah, It ties up to, feel as though you have someone here in your life. Don't know if it's just show up in work, right? It could be having like someone who works in HR or therapist or someone who just listens, and who don't judge you. You can come with whatever it is that you want to bring to the table, and they will accept it and listen, and they are very creative. They give good advice in terms of creativity, in terms of your emotions. They're very, very supportive. I don't really get that you're talking together. I don't know if someone here was robbed away from you. Anyway, I see it's going to, I don't know what's going into, I don't know actually the 3D here, but I see the energy going in a direction where it's going to be difficult for you to open up. Where you're going to set up very high boundaries. You're not going to give up though. I feel as though you may be drained here. It's like you're missing someone here to just listen to you and accept. It's going to drain you. Be mindful here of people who are jealous. Could be a woman who has jealousy issues. Can be very controlling. Anger outbursts here. Hold on. Alright, where were we? Yeah. Just be mindful here of about being burned out by a person who has control issues. You may have some sort of a leadership responsibility, or you want to be a boss. Set your goals and make decisions that are long term, right? Have the capacity to look forward. It's the advice. Know what it is that where you're going here. That goal setting, the practice of setting goals, and then knowing where you want to go and having your eyes set on it and the approach, and then doing it the best you can. But in a way where you're not drained out, especially by someone who tries to control everything. Yeah. That's what I have for you now. Libra. What do we have for you? That's you. I don't know if you work with as a consultant or something like that. This is something like, you know, scratch. Right. This is like not, well, alright, how can I say this? Doing the research, but having to go back and redo the research. That's what's coming up for you. It's like there's something here that's not being told to you. Something here that's not being said directly to your face. I feel as though you may know it if you were to listen to your intuition. It's about the movement that's not really going forward in the way that you like. You want. Will I say that there's a setback? It's not really a setback, it's something that is going to enable you to avoid building up something on a false foundation. But this is definitely something that's not being told to you. Told you. It's not being spoken out loud. I don't know if you have a con person here in the recent past. There's someone who knows how to play on emotions. They persuade using pathos. I don't know. They persuade you by telling you what it is that you need to hear to feel safe, to feel secure, to calm down your emotions. That's a con thing. But it could also have been that you could have been ruled by your emotions in making some sort of a decision. And that happens. I feel as though it has something to do with an offer, jumping into something. And it feels good, but it's like the guidance are not there, like, you know, not when we jump into new projects, and if we have no experience whatsoever in doing it, it's nice to have someone here who takes us by the hand, like the Emperor, and helps us show the way, not doing it for us, but, you know, gives the push and sets the tone and saying, that's where you're going, you're not going there, you're going there. So clear directions, basically. That's what I get here in the past. It's having jumped into that without the clear direction, but someone here speaking to your emotions, making you feel like, alright, this is safe, but what about the directions? What about the guidance that are needed here? And that's the Hermit here with you. It's not really having the right knowledge, not being consulted or guided, led properly, and needing to go back. It's what's coming up. That's where we have you in a situation where you're going to try and move in to well, moving away from some sort of a conflict. Feels like conflict, right? Or just with it will conflict in a way where people are arguing, having different opinions and trying to win, but you're not wanting to do that. You want to move into something more peaceful, but it's going to be rocky waters, probably because you're not being offered the proper guidance here. The advice is here that you have that guidance within you, so be mindful about how it is that you invest of your time, of your money, right? If this has something to do with your money, be careful of con artists. Yeah. Be careful of the con artist. Keep your resources balanced, and don't let anyone here play on your I don't really see the fear, but it's like they know how to talk to your emotions to make you do something in a particular way. Be mindful of that. But because that could block your abundance. But it's nothing to do with, don't go into fear. Trust yourself, because you have this Emperor here within you. You have leadership qualities within yourself, so you can't be fooled. And that's you. I'm moving on to Scorpio. Scorpio. Delaying. Something here is going to be delayed. I still see there being happiness within you, but there's going to be delay. Probably something about I get something about August for you. Sorry about that. Yeah. I see you having a lot of dignity, a lot of grace. You are not giving of yourself, or you're not. I really get as though someone here maybe putting you into a situation where it's you feel as though you have to keep calm. I don't know if someone here could be, I don't want to say triggering, but, you know, let's say there's someone here question your abilities, or try to push you on your senses of insecurities. You're not fooling it. You're not falling for it. You're really scratching. You're really just standing your ground. It feels to us because here in the recent past you could have had some financial difficulties, or that's definitely on the table here, financial difficulties, you have your eyes on that. You don't want to repeat a lack mentality, so to say, whether it be you or in others. You're not letting a lack mentality, like focusing on what you don't have or what people around you don't have, affect you, so you get thrown out of it. You have your confidence. Sorry, there's noises going on everywhere. There's a situation here further back. I don't know if it could have been Pisces season, something happened where you were placed into a situation where you didn't have a choice. You didn't want to be in that position, but you didn't have power. You didn't have the control of the situation. And I still feel so. There's a situation here you don't have the full control over. What you have control over is your response to it, and that's what you're doing. You may even be dealing with people who have this lack mentality, who is struggling, and then going for you, or putting it up to you, like, fix my problem, and you're like, we gotta keep balance here. We gotta not be thrown out of it. I feel like a pressure in your environment towards you, or you're just being in the, I won't say you're in the eye of the storm, but it does feel like you are close to the storm, metaphorically speaking. Something is going to be dropped on the floor here. It's like you have this self-control, and you're sitting here. It's like you know there's going to something is going to happen. Something is going to fall down. You know it, and you are allowing it to run its course. Even though it's not fun, you're doing it. It's a very leadership quality to do that. Because there's going to be a situation coming up here that's going to feel chaotic a little bit. It's a situation where things are going to be thrown at you, or whoever you. I don't know where this is placed on you, on the environment, but a lot of things are going to be thrown at, you. Let's say you, and you can't deal with all of it. It's having to make decisions, saying, I'm going to deal with this. I have to let this go. I can't deal with all of it because it's probably too much. But here's the thing. One of the reasons why this could happen is this lack mentality. There is actually a possibility of working against that, of actually being able to manage, being able to balance all of these things. How would that happen? By having a method and being patient. You can work towards being able to manage all these, grabbing all of this, if you take a boring methodical approach. Right? But that's the thing, if you want things to happen quickly, you don't have the patience, and you don't believe in methods, you don't believe in concepts, if you don't believe in continuity, in discipline. I mean, it's just, an example. If people who don't believe in the methods, who don't set methods, who just go with the flow, who don't think long term, they can drop things, right? They're not going to be able to coordinate to deal with all of it. And then we have a possibility that around that early summer, then someone here is going to blame everyone else for it, because that is also here. this Hangman. There is an energy here that someone in this equation starts blaming everyone else rather than taking responsibility for their own actions. You show up in this storm here, as close to it. You show up as though you're capable, that you are holding on to yourself, you're not participating in it. But if you have that within you, to stop blaming everyone else rather than also taking responsibility yourself, then look at it. And if this is someone else doing it, I don't know what the advice is there. I just tried not getting involved, but it's just not always good. But yeah, that's just what we have here. Method. Patience. Alright, we are moving on to Sagi. Sagi. This is okay. This is about teamwork. This is about people working together, putting their skills into a teamwork, collaborating and building something up together. Of course it can be a contract, but the contract is still about teamwork, I gotta say. We have a situation here. Oh, that's you. Sorry, that's you. Bringing your skills to the table so the team can work together. We have a woman here who's very smart. Could be you, by the way. And she's coming from a situation where there's been headache. It's not always been people who work together, but that's coming out of that. It's about being patient. I feel as though some of you may be making the decision here to have a solid, having a healthy work-life balance, meaning that you work in a way where you also have time to your family, your friends, your rest, to yourself. It's a good thing. Yeah? Maybe if you are signing a contract, then you want this on the contract. Anyway, but yeah, because years have passed. That's being bound to something. Being bound to an energy that's keeping you tied up. Trying to restrict your freedom. But you want your freedom. There's also a lot of Capricorn here, gotta be honest. And what does that mean? I don't know, something good I have in Capricorn season. Anyway. Some of you Sagittarius. See, this is like you have this gift that you are able to see potential, that you are able to see how things could be. But and that's a talent, because that's how we open up doors to think outside the box and all of that. But we also gotta make decisions. And that's what I'm getting here, that there's an energy here in the past which is one of things not really moving, because it's always about looking at what could be done and not what is done, right? Not really taking the action. And that's where I get the change that's taking place with you. This is you actually deciding to do things differently. You want to be more pragmatic, not just sitting here visioning things. It's like wanting to participate in it, being practical, and that's nice. What's coming up for you is actually a partnership where two people are seeing eye to eye. You are different people, but you both bring something here to the table. You may meet someone here at work. It doesn't have to be like in a love situation, but it's like a good friendship. Feeling aligned. Which may be different from an energy in the past here, where people pretend to be aligned. You know, networking and all of that. This is more it's more intimate, so to say. It's more working together in small teams, liking each other. It's a very good energy. You having someone here in your work that you really like hanging out with. And one of the reasons why you may like hanging out with them is probably because they also have that capacity here to see the potential and all of that. You work nicely together. What is your advice here? To don't let people make decisions over your head. If you have been sitting here wondering what to believe, which direction should you go in, what should you do? No, you know that having to face your fear, maybe you an insecurity about signing a paper or an insecurity about doing something. Your talent here, your gift is to remember that you have that capacity to think outside the box and to be open. And that the energy, at least here on the table, is actually inviting someone into your life, or actually if they're not already here, but just good collaboration here. You take power of your life through the choices that you make. If you don't take the initiative, someone else will do it for you. And you have the truth within you. Yeah, that's what we have for you. I hope that gave you something. Moving on to Cappy. See you next time. Cappy. Being a little stressed about which direction to take, are we? For what to believe. But now here's the truth. No. Starting to see things more clearly. And that's because you may have been coming out of some sort of a conflict. People trying to win at all costs. Gabby, I don't know if someone here has gotten to you in a way where they make you, that way you don't feel appreciated for what it is that you can do, what it is that your experiences, your gifts, your talents, not feeling appreciated. But there may also be some work that needs to be done so that you are able to reach that next level of abundance. But at the same time, I still get that this is about, not being appreciated for what it is that you bring, not feeling that way. And keep in mind that the way that you feel about it, and if it starts affecting you to the extent where you start telling yourself that you don't know how to do things, that can lead to a negative mind pattern. But again, always be realistic. And then that's what we have here. I feel as though you are being realistic here. Seeing things very, very clearly. I feel as though there's a disappointment here. Going way back. And you're coming out of a situation where there was just a conflict you couldn't win. No one could have won. This is one of those where there's no winners, there's no losers, there's only just people being aggressive towards each other in the attempt to be right. Everyone wants to be right. And I get that this is the truth. For you, you're starting to see things very clearly. I don't know if you see, this is also where you start getting into your own head, starting to worry. Worrying about whether or not it is that you have what it takes. Did you put in, do you have that last skill? Well, do you? No. This is almost like also admitting that maybe it's time to learn something new or learn something more. It's making room for acknowledging that we can always improve and that we are not perfect. It's a vulnerable position to be in, right? It may have something to do with also the way you set goals. Being asked one more time here to be sure about how it is that you prioritize goals. Is it about status? Is it about, meaning, are you striving for something just for the status? Does it have what it, do you have what it takes then to achieve it, and does the situation, can it provide you with something that also speaks to your heart? Remember, these are temporary energies, thank God. Yeah, I get that there's not something, communication coming your way here. But we also have that energy about being placed into a box. Guys, if you are going for high status careers, I would say that this is the energy that comes with it, but you know, still definitely a potential here to learn something new. I see a disappointment here about something not having grown, but again, learn something new. Here coming up is the Fool in the reverse, which is unfortunately jumping into something without seeing any sort of red flags, and that is again something about the environment here. Colleagues that are sneaky, but the thing is, if you were to open up your eyes, you would probably see it. Yeah, this is you know, a question about being honest with oneself. Or you, yeah, being honest with oneself in terms of, can you bring to the table what is being sought after? The advice here for you is to also not give up. To don't push away, I wanted to say memories, but to we gotta be honest with you, to be honest. To be honest with yourself, to be honest with each other, and to not feel as though the world is out to get you. It's a little bit of a interesting reading, isn't it? Let's see. Some of you cabbies probably need a pause, like a breather. Go on an Easter vacation to recharge your batteries here. Because I feel that you have this inspirational energy within you. But to access that, first and foremost, you've got to be honest with yourself, right? Don't strive for positions or jobs that you're not qualified for. I'm not saying that you're not qualified. It's just to be honest with yourself. And yeah, and also be honest with yourself about disappointments that are in the past. Come to terms with it. This is like going from a conflict without even moving out of it. It's just blocking it, forgetting it, and not dealing with it. deal with it, so that you don't run into a situation where you jump into something a bit too quickly here, because it seems exciting, but it's the same sort of shit. But as I said, if you are working in environments that are high profile, it's also high stress. Alright, guys, that's what I got for you. We're moving on to Aquarius. Aquarius. Why are there so many reversals? It's about having a healthy work balance, Aquarius. And to be patient, not jump into a, let's say you're looking for a job, or you've, well, a new project coming your way, and you just jump into it because you believe you can't do any better. Or you just need something here to do, then you jump into it. And it actually brings more stress into your life because there's no balance. It's there, that's there, right? It does not, yeah. We have the tower here, which is about avoid building up towers. That's what you're doing. Now there's a disappointment here, way back. You, like Libra, have someone here in your past that's a smooth talker. Someone here who speaks to your emotions, knows what to say to make you feel a particular way, and it can be a bit of a con artist. And in this case, this person may speak to a sadness, a disappointment, make you believe things. Unfortunately, I hope that you're not going to have a situation here where someone here is trying to convince you to jump into something way too quickly, just because if, let's say, you have a disappointment, you have a sadness within you, and if you don't want to deal with it, you just want to forget it, and then you say yes to do a project, or you say yes to doing a job or something like that, because someone here speaks very highly of it. But if you then don't look at what's written in fine print, for instance, that there's going to be a healthy work balance, and then you don't see that, and you just jump into it, and you may end up working like 50 hours a week. Just so look at what is written with the small here, or what it is to be mindful of what it is that you're saying yes to. Don't give in to rose-tinted glasses. But then again, if an offer comes your way and it's a good offer, then take it, for God's sake. It's just about making sure that it does have something solid with it. Coming up is the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, that is this new opportunity, a potential here showing up for you, but there's probably a lot of work that needs to be put into this. And do you have the desire to do that? I really get it. This is one of the situations where we're talking about probably ending up working like 50-60 hours a week. Probably not 60, but at least 50 hours a week. So just be mindful of what it is that comes your way here, so you don't end up in a prison almost, where it is that you are waiting around for the fruits of your labor to come in here, and you're gonna end up with a regret. And then, by the way, if this is what happens, then your desire to move on to something new brings tension here, because you said no. So just, yeah, it's one of those situations. Read what is written with fine print here. Have a proper discussion about expectations, so you don't get an unpleasant surprise. This can still grow into something like a new potential, but it's something here that requires work. The question is, do you want it? Is it really what you want? You get to decide, as always. Tarot readings are just for inspiration. Your life, your decision, your responsibility. Alright, that's it. We're going to Pisces. See you next time. Ciao. Pisces. Alright, Pisces. Again, I've got my hair. Yeah. About being patient, having a method to the madness. But you may also, by the way, find yourself in a position. Could be in education or in public administration. I don't know. It's one of those energies that can drain you. No, well, it's alright. Let's just dive into it, right? It's what I mean when I say drained. It's about where people have a fixed idea about how it is that you're supposed to be, and they want things to be in a traditional way, and not really being opened to new experiences. Not always, but yeah, and it does come from a place of trying to keep tradition alive, and tradition is okay because it also brings continuity, right? But sometimes it can become a bit too rigid. Anyway, where do we have you? Are you giving your all to your work here? I get a little bit of a boredom with the job. Pisces, if this is yours, you take what resonates, leave what you don't want, okay? It's not wanting to, I really get like a desire to want to do something else. I'm not feeling emotionally fulfilled in this. And that's okay. It's a matter about questioning whether or not what you do, the place you are working at, does it feel right? And remember, these can be temporary energies, so it can be just not feeling motivated for the time being. Probably has something to do with the paycheck, not feeling like you're being appreciated. I mean, even if you get something, it's maybe just a little bit of a raise, not what you expected. In the recent past, I still get the boredom. It's like being bored, being close to wanting to walk away. Maybe you have started to speak about, I need something more, I need to be challenged in a different way. But you don't really, and then something is given to you, like a small raise. I don't really see it bringing up the passion again. If the promise was given to you that things will start moving in a different direction, as you're probably going to be told it's going to be a little bit delayed, you may have a, yeah. Pisces, the energies are on the table. Pisces, why did the video stop with you? Now I don't know where we were. I don't know where we were. Alright, so let's just take it from the beginning. It's like being granted a small raise, having emotionally not feeling satisfied, not feeling motivated here, wanting to walk away, not doing it, especially if you're being promised a small raise here. But it's not really enough. And yeah, I see a return to boredom a little bit here, and it shows a little bit of as though it's because your creativity is not being valued. And we may have a person here who is affecting you in a way that's just not motivating. Pisces. Why do I also get this? Because the advice here is that to speak up and not be afraid to not be afraid that you don't have what it takes to manifest something, so therefore you keep returning to something that may not actually satisfy you, right? It's like luck is feeling as though luck is not on your side. You have to wait around for things to come your way rather than take action, take the initiative yourself. Of course, it is your life. You decide what you want to do, and in your timing, right? But I just really get the energy here, not the feeling not stimulated, especially from a creative point of view. Someone here is coming up for you is not feeling at home, not feeling as though you're reaching what it is that you want to reach that graduation energy. If any of you are studying, it's actually not putting in the work and not graduating, and feeling as though you have to apologize for that, and you feel stuck in a mind prison. Because in all cases, an energy keeps returning, giving you a little bit of something to try and make it work with you. They're trying, right? It's not because they're mean-spirited, they're trying, but it's not meeting you somehow. Maybe your mind is elsewhere, your heart is elsewhere in the current moment. I don't know what it is. It's just you're not feeling it. They're doing their best to give it to you. They're doing their best, but maybe they just don't understand you. Maybe you're different people. Eventually I see you starting to make plans to do things differently, and things are going to shift. It comes from within you. It's your life, your responsibility to take the initiative to show up in your life the way you want to show up. And you take from this what you want, leave what you don't. Just do what you want. Alright, that's it guys. I'll see you next time. Take care.